African Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai urges National Assembly to add VAT on exclusive list. Borno State Government begins recruitment of 3,000 teachers. And on the foreign scene, Zambian police to increase checks after migrants' deaths. Good evening, you're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Zara Zanna. Today is the 12th of December 2022, and now the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Washington, D.C. to attend the United States African Leaders Summit. The president arrived at the Joint Base Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland, on Sunday. President Buhari will join other African leaders at the high-level meeting holding between Tuesday, December 13th and Thursday, December 15th at the instance of the United States President Joe Biden. Garba Shehu, presidential spokesman, said in a statement that on the first day, Buhari will speak on the topic conservation, climate adaptation, and a just energy transition, dwelling directly on the just energy transition component. Shehu further disclosed that the Nigerian leader would also address some of the sub-themes of the summit, as well as participate in the U.S.-Africa Business Forum. The forum will be hosted by the U.S. Department of Commerce, which focuses on increased trade and investment between the United States and African nations. On the sidelines of the summit, the Corporate Council of Africa will host a Nigerian delegation to a U.S.-Nigerian Business and Investment Forum Business Roundtable. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai today urged the 9th National Assembly to add value-added tax VAT on the exclusive list, making the federal government have legislative tax paid when goods are purchased and services are rendered. El-Rufai stated this in Abuja at the second edition of the Distinguished Parliamentarian Lecture organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. According to him, VAT is a major survival for Nigeria, especially now that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, has not remitted a penny into the Federation account this year. El-Rufai also urged the National Assembly to make happen state and community policy to solve Nigeria's multifarious security challenges. Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Bajabiamila were some of the dignitaries in attendance at the program. On sports, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, will decide soon where the country's under-20 side, the Flying Eagles, will train ahead of the 2023 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations scheduled to hold in Egypt. Muhammad Sani Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Nigeria Football Federation, according to report, has received a proposal from the Flying Eagles to train in Spain ahead of the competition. The initial plan was for the Flying Eagles to fly out to Egypt much earlier to acclimatize to the weather conditions in the host country. The NFF will consider the weather condition in Spain and logistical issues like entry visas before deciding whether to accept the offer. Egypt will host the 2023 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations from February 18 to March 12. Similarly, 32 base camp locations spread across Australia and New Zealand will hold the 32 qualified team, including Nigerian Super Falcons, for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. This becomes the first time in FIFA Women's World Cup history that competing countries will use dedicated team base camps. In another update, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the Moroccan football team, the Atlas Lions, and the ruler of the country, King Mohammed, for making history at the ongoing 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. In a congratulatory message issued by his spokesperson, Malam Garba Shehu, today in Abuja, Buhari lauded the Atlas Lions for becoming the first team from an African country to ever qualify for the World Cup quarterfinals. The team is also the first in Africa to win a place in a semi-finals at the World Cup. According to Buhari, Morocco has made the entire continent proud with their grit and dexterity, giving hope that an African team can indeed win and should win the ongoing global championship. Meanwhile, Ogun State Sport Commissioner Oludare Kehinde says the 2024 National Sport Festival in Ogun State will surpass the just concluded 2022 edition of the event in Delta State. Kehinde stated this at the closing ceremony of the event in Asaba after the Minister of Youth and Sport Development Sunday Dari announced that the 22nd National Sport Festival will be hosted by Ogun. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com, or call us through this number, 163. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. Borno State government has started the recruitment of 3,000 teachers for the public schools in the state. A statement by the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, Ali Musa, encouraged all interested and eligible candidates to apply through the portal link moapplication.bornostate.gov.ng. Musa said that applicants must be graduates of recognized higher institutions not above 50 years, possess NYSC certificate, discharged or exempted, be willing to be deployed to any part of the state. He also said that experienced professional education certificate and certified computer knowledge would be an advantage. The application portal will be open on December 5th and would be shut down on December 31st, 2022. Yellow fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic disease transmitted by infected mosquitoes. Correspondent Irene Chieta Mark takes a look at this issue and files in this report.
Yellow fever is a disease caused by a virus that is spread to people by a bite of an infected mosquito. This disease is caused by a virus found in tropic and subtropic areas of South America and Africa. Yellow fever occurred when the disease is introduced to densely populated urban areas, and it affects the healthcare system. 20% to 50% of infected persons who develop several diseases died. Some Kano State residents explain how they go about protecting themselves from mosquito bites.
If you have mosquito nets, you can spray the mosquito nets now. Then number 2, if you have a mosquito repellent, you can rub it on your body.
If I want to prevent mosquito from biting me, I use I use mosquito net, and sometimes I buy all those ones. And there's one substance that you normally rub on your body, something like that. If mosquito can.
You have to clean your environment. It has been advised by the professionals that keeping the environment clean can manage a situation of controlling the malaria within our area. Malaria has been developed through mosquitoes, and it's these mosquitoes that spread the malaria. So if we are keeping our environment clean, it's possible that we can reduce the high affections of malaria within our environment.
According to Dr. Muhammad Abdulkarim from Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, said malaria is a parasite that is being transferred by the bite of an infected mosquito and can be prevented by keeping the environment clean.
Prevent the breeding of the mosquito in your environment by avoiding any places where water can easily collect, especially fresh water. So typically in most of our environment, we find that there are a small collection of water, whether in the any culvert or within the environment, we allow water to collect, or shrubs or small waste water on the floor. So all these can allow the mosquito to breed and reproduce. And that way, there will be several mosquitoes in the environment near our homes or within our homes. And when these mosquitoes go around, especially in the evening, they can bite and transmit that malaria parasite.
The doctor also said malaria can also be prevented by taking vaccinations. Yerenchate Mark, Freedom Radio.
For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic.
tomorrow morning is expected to have a clear sky and light winds at an average temperature of 12 degrees Celsius and later turns to 20 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Katsina will experience a clear sky and light winds at an average temperature of 14 degrees Celsius and later turns to 21 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Kaduna will have a clear sky and light winds at 16 degrees Celsius and later turn to 22 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Abuja is expected to have partly cloudy sky and light winds at 19 degrees Celsius and later increase to 26 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and light winds. Lagos will have a clear sky and light winds at 25 degrees Celsius and later give way to 27 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and light winds. Moving to Niger Republic, Maradi is expected to have a clear sky and a gentle breeze at an average temperature of 15 degrees Celsius and later increase to 21 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a moderate breeze. While Zender will have a clear sky and light winds at 17 degrees Celsius and later increase to 23 degrees Celsius, sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Nafisat Adam Salu, Freedom Break.
On business, at Abdurrahman Adu Baba has updates.
Following the completion of the acquisition of Sigma pensions and the first guarantee pension by the Access Corporation, both companies have consolidated, merged, and rebranded as Access Pension. Access Pension is a subsidiary of Access Corporation, and the merger positions the company as the fourth largest pension fund manager in Nigeria. It is capitalized with double regulatory requirement of funds in excess with 10 billion, with its asset under management, AUM, at over 900 billion, as well as over 1 million retirement savings account, RSAs. Speaking at the unveiling of Access Pension in its proposed head office in Abuja, the Group Chief Executive of Access Corporation, Dr. Harvard Wiki, noted that this mega is in line with its corporate strategy to provide in all exclusive financial system to cater for its vast customer base. Meanwhile, with the ululated season and the year-end celebration expected to usher in a bullish run, the capital market has extended its bullish momentum for the fourth consecutive week due to vying interest in Vuas Mint PLC, plus 19.1%, Nestle Nigeria PLC, plus 1.7%, and EcoBank Transnational Incorporated PLC, plus 11.4%. Consequently, in all share index and market capitalization appreciated by 1.51% to close the week at 43,881.98 and 26.63 trillion respectively. Abdurrahman Adu Baba, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, Zambian police say they will increase checks of vehicles at the country's borders following the discovery over the weekend of the bodies of 27 Ethiopian migrants. Muhammad Abdukarim reports.
The migrants, all aged between 20 and 38, were found dumped by the side of the road on the outskirts of the Zambian capital, Lusaka. They are thought to have suffocated whilst trying to reach South Africa. In October, the bodies of 25 Ethiopians were discovered in neighboring Malawi. The UN said 12,000 migrants have been recorded as missing across Africa since 2014. Meanwhile, at least 3 attackers have been killed by Afghanistan security forces after they opened fire at a Kabul hotel popular with Chinese nationals, said the spokesman for the ruling Taliban. The unidentified armed men opened fire inside the multi-story Kabul Logan Hotel in central Kabul today, with witnesses reporting multiple blasts and several bursts of gunfire. Spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid said the attacks has now ended and no foreigners were killed, although 2 of them were injured while trying to escape the attack by jumping from the hotel balcony. Muhammad Abdul Karim, Freedom Radio.
And with that, we've come to the end of the news. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zara Zanna, thank you for listening.